here's a pleasant surprise. I bought a silage tarp, my first kind of commercial grade silage tarp, and I thought I bought one that was 100 foot long by 40 inches wide to cover like a row. And I'm setting this up to basically prepare a row for the okra that's right there and ready to go. As I unfold this thing, I'm like, it's definitely 100 feet long, but it's not 40 inches wide. I think it's 40 feet wide. So I got a lot more tarp than I thought I got for the price, which is good. Now I gotta fold this thing up into like a burrito because I only want to get about I don't know, 65, 70 inches wide tarp right now, so I can get 2 rows stood up of okra. But you know, better that I thought it was 40 inches and it's 40 feet than the other way around, right? Win-win. Gotta love it. Here's my little knuckleheads. I've got a it's like, hey, she moved. Oh man, that would make me so happy to see her eat some food. That's the gimpy bird, and she just wasn't gonna make it with all the other ones. They just walked over her. She couldn't even get off, on her feet. She was on her back most of the time because they were just running roughshod over her. So I gave her her own little hospital brooder, and she seems to be doing pretty good. I put her in about midday yesterday, and I was really happy to see her basically snuggle up against this water here, and she drank her ass off for about, it seems like 4 hours. I don't think I've seen a bird drink that much, so that was encouraging. I haven't really seen her eat yet, but I did put some food, sprinkle a little bit of her kibble down there. And if I had to guess, she's eating. I'm not too worried about her. She looks pretty healthy. But here's the moral of this story is that little bird right there was getting picked on. It seems to be a little bit of a runt. Seems to be about 30% smaller than some of the big knuckleheads over here. And I was just in my office reading, and I heard a bird in distress, and that little girl was wedged way back in that corner, had her head, Deuce, asshole, had her head wedged. Bring that back in here right now. Deuce, Deuce, bring it. Whatever that is, you bring it here and drop it. Is that an eggshell? You drop it. Drop it. I mean it, boy. Drop it. Go. Ah, good. Now back up. Out. See, that's why you're not allowed in here, you shithead. Out. 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 Anyway, what I was saying was, since I was so rudely interrupted, is I took the little girl that's being picked on and put her in here with the gimpy bird. And you should have seen that gimpy bird just jump up and down happy to have somebody to kind of share her existence with. And maybe the picked on bird is going to teach her how and where to eat. So it's a symbiotic win-win for everybody. Except Deuce, because I'm going to go out there and kick his ass right now. Good afternoon, everybody. Friday, 23rd of August. 2019, hotter than crap, no surprise. Anyway, today was migration or graduation day. So the baby chicks that were born in the inside brooder, that was their brooder, they outgrew that. They were getting a little congested. So we moved their little butts out in the barn, into the barn brooder. Just moved them in here about 3 minutes ago. Nice to see him move, Deuce. They seem to be doing pretty good. What do you guys think? A lot more room to stretch your little legs, huh? So they basically just moved me in here, and I introduced them to the nipple feeders. So there's 2 waterers right here. There's one, there's the other one. So I'll give them about a week to learn, teach themselves how to drink from the red nipples on the bottom of those little bottles. And then once they show me that they're drinking water out of the nipples, then that water right there goes, I'm sorry, that's the, yeah, that's food, that's water. The water goes away. So they don't make quite as much of a water mess in here, so they just keep the feeder. Anyway, they're successfully migrated into their new digs. They'll be in here for a good 4 weeks-ish, and then by then I should have the next, the Chickshaw project done, the mobile chicken coop. That's a whole nother build out, whole nother project that I kind of hope to do next week, because I'll be on vacation next week. So hopefully next week I'll get that Chickshaw 2.0 project done. These guys will have a new apartment to move into when they're ready to do so, and we can move them out of this brooder, put them into a field, and let them live out in the field full time. That'll be their next graduation, a couple weeks out. Anyway, onward and upward for these little guys. Yay! Got the BCS 853 diesel walk-behind tractor back from depot maintenance yesterday. Boy, that was a fiasco. That's a whole different story. We're not going to go there right now. I had to drive down to Pittsboro, about an hour drive down south to pick this guy up from the mechanic, and that ended up being a whole nightmare scenario. Not because of the tractor, so I'm not, it's not necessarily related to the tractor, so we're not going to talk about it right now. Anywho, got this out, and what I'm going to be doing, I started doing this morning, but we got some serious thunderstorms, believe it or not. Not bad right now, but my alarm just went off on my phone. We got another nasty ass thunderstorm due here in a couple hours, and it'll be here this whole weekend. But what I wanted to do, so here's the next chore, I guess, and it is BCS related, is I gotta build 2 or 3, almost 4 100-foot long, 30-inch wide raised bed rows out here in this field, which is, I've got the tarps you can see there. I've got enough tarpage out to create 2 100-foot raised bed rows right there. And before I actually go there and do the rows, I've tried it before, and it's just a skill like anything else you have to learn how to do. And there's different schools of thought on how to do it. So what I'm doing is using the rotary plow to create each of these furrows one direction and then turn around and go the other direction. And I've done this before, and it's just a pain in the ass because this tractor's got so much power and it's so heavy that if you're not really careful or have a really good technique, your furrows here cannot be a nice straight line like that one is, and that one more or less is. So I'm just out here practicing, and it's a good thing I'm practicing, because even though those are nice straight lines and that's a nice raised bed right there, it happens to be about 28 inches wide. So I'm about 2 inches too narrow on that bed. Not a big deal, because this implement is not designed to create a perfect bed. I've actually got a bed shaper implement or attachment actually that goes in the back of this that'll use different technology to kind of get this bed into, that's what I call a bed shaper, into the correct shape, width, and flat across the top, etc., etc. Anyway, that was a good exercise to start with this guy. I'm so happy to have this tractor back. I learned a little bit of a lesson in terms of caretaking on this guy. I probably left it out in the elements more than I should have. I probably should have covered it a little bit more. So I'm going to take a little bit better care of this, find a better home for it, park it in the garage, or no, not the garage, in the barn or something. Cover it, something. But it's back online. It's fully, it's got a nice tune-up on it, and the clutch was adjusted. The big problem, and if you don't have a BCS, this isn't going to be that important to you, but this lever right here that I just dropped, this lever is how you engage the PTO. So it's how you turn the implement on, just like a PTO on a regular tractor. And this BCS walk-behind is pretty intricate in its design. So these handles right here, you can squeeze that handle and take the handlebars and swing them all the way around to the other side. So you can drive this thing from one side or the other. And to support that 180-degree swing of the control arm here, this PTO control lever actually pivots down there in that knuckle and swings with the handlebars. However, if you don't do certain things and don't do certain maintenance on it, it can freeze up, get rusty and freeze up. And that's exactly what it did. And I tried my best to get that thing fixed with every tool I had. I got online and figured out all kinds of different techniques. People talk about doing it. I won't go into it right now. I tried my best, couldn't do it, so I said, screw this. I'll pay somebody else to do it. And since they were going to fix that, I had them just do a full tune-up on the tractor. But I'm happy I did. They did great work, reasonably priced. It just feels good to have a freshly, I will say, rebuilt in a sense, tuned up and serviced, maybe a better way of describing it. Tractor wasn't rebuilt. They didn't take the engine apart. But it's all clean and good to go. So we'll be out here this weekend, assuming we don't get 3 feet of rain or whatever. We'll be out here Good morning, almost afternoon, everybody. Today's Sunday, the 25th of August, 2019. Nice, cool weather out there today. It's not quite as cool as yesterday. Overcast, but relatively cool. So what have we got going on today? Basically, I think I mentioned before, my next project is to build a Chickshaw 2.0. It's a chicken rickshaw. Kind of a cool concept. See that it demonstrated here. It's basically it's a portable chicken coop on wheels, and you can move it around in a pasture or whatever, and so it gives the chickens a place to call home. They roost in there at night, surround it with a temporary portable electric fence, and they're protected from predators, etc., etc. But the cool thing is it's part of a bigger scheme, part of a bigger strategy, where you use this to move the chickens periodically so they can kind of participate in the development of ground soils and gardens and stuff. So they do their work, they scratch up the ground. They almost like little, in the permaculture community, they call it's like tilling, right? They're tilling up the ground by scratching when they eat. So this is going to be their home. Basically, it's a 58-step process. So over the next 3 days, we're going to be building our first Chickshaw. I went to Lowe's today. Here's a story for you. So Justin Rhodes is the permaculturist that I kind of follow his methods, and this is his design. And he recommended that with a parts list, you basically go to really two sources, Lowe's and Amazon. And you can get about 95% of the tools if you need them, but the parts from Lowe's. And his suggestion was go to Lowe's, place the order online, they pick it all for you, they call you when it's ready, you go pick it up. What's not to love? So yesterday I ordered all the parts. This morning the dogs and I went to pick it all up, and what a fiasco that was. I mean, here's all the paperwork. It's all a mess, which really is suggestive of how the process went. I had some unkind words with one of the kids there. I apologized to him and said, look, don't take it personal. This is not about you. I'm not blaming you. But the process was a complete clusterfuck. And it was just, I probably should go back and talk to the manager. It was horrific. Anyway, that's not the whole point. Point is, I don't want to belabor that. So I've got 24 2x4s all ready to go. Today, I'm going to cut these things down following the cut plan for the Chickshaw. And I'm going to use, I couldn't get cedar. I wanted to get cedar 2x4s. Could not, but I opted to go with a non-toxic protective cedar for the wood. So today, Sunday, we're going to cut all this wood down to its parts and apply 1 or 2 coats of the sealant. Let it dry tomorrow, Monday. On Tuesday, I've got a scheduled delivery from Amazon with the Lane Nest boxes, critically the 1-inch hardware cloth that you put on the bottom to follow the design. We put 1/2-inch cloth on the sides, and you put 1-inch hardware cloth on the bottom. 1-inch, Justin, he makes a good point. It's like if you put 1/2-inch on the bottom, the chicken manure won't go through those little 1/2-inch squares. So you end up with a chicken coop full of chicken poop, which we don't want. So Tuesday, I get the 1-inch cloth delivered by Amazon. I already actually got 4 of these big-ass 26-inch wheels last week as they were on sale at Northern Tool. So I got 2 there and 2 over there ready to go for a Chickshaw 2.0 or number 2 when I opt to build the second one, which I'm sure I will. Here's the vinyl siding that goes on the sides, back, and top. So we basically got all the parts here. Even this galvanized rod, which you cut down, which becomes the rod. You can't see it in the picture here, but it's the rod that goes across here that the person pushing or pulling the Chickshaw, that's what you push or pull on. Anywho, real quick, I'm going to go eat some lunch, get the 2 saws fired up, and get this thing started. Get the wood cutting done anyway today. We'll keep you posted. Take care. Bye-bye. Yep. I'm thinking some little Mr. Somebody might have laid a little bit too close to Daddy playing with the table saw and the chop saw. And Knucklehead. You're not sleeping with me tonight, shithead, unless you take a bath. Oh, you smell nice. You kind of smell a little like pine. Well, we spent a long day on these saws. Got all the 2x4s. That one's a spare. Got a couple of spare 2x2s. So I started with 24 2x4s. Only needed 22, but had 2 extras. I think I needed 1 extra because I screwed something up. About half of them, about 11 of them, got split into 2x2s on the table saw. And then there's all kinds of different lengths of all kinds of different sizes. Some of them with some pretty complex, not really complex, but 45-degree cuts on ends and whatnot. So we got all the pieces, all the sundry pieces all prepped and cut to size. I think I'm not going to do anything else today. I think I'm done for the day. So tomorrow we'll get some of this Valspar on here, this protective sealer. Get that applied tomorrow, let it dry. What's tomorrow, Monday? And then Tuesday, the last set of parts should arrive. And we can get this bad boy constructed. Good afternoon, everybody. Today's Monday, the 26th of August, 2019. A little bit afternoon. Just finished getting all the Chickshaw wood treated, waterproofed, basically, with the Valspar product. Worked out pretty straightforward. Used one of my tables, and I was getting ready to brush it on, and I read the directions, which we should always do, and it suggested using one of these little like 1 gallon sprayers, agricultural sprayers, and spray the product on, which is exactly what I did. So it actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. But you can see all the individual little pieces, like Lego blocks. There's all the parts and whatnot. There's the chicken door. It's gonna be the front door. That's nice. I did 2 or 3 coats of weather treatment on that guy because it's gonna get wet. But we're all good to go here. So this is gonna sit up on the rack and just kind of dry and cure for the day. Like I said, tomorrow I've got an Amazon delivery coming with some of the fasteners and I think the nest boxes and a couple other pieces or parts or whatever. So I'm hoping that stuff shows up at a relatively early hour tomorrow. But just for giggles, I'll go ahead and assume it doesn't. And so maybe Wednesday will be assembly day. And as you can well imagine, I'll do some video and probably do a time lapse or something like that, something fun. But Chickshaw project is coming along really, really well. So I'm happy so far. Got a couple more parts to prep. I've got the siding here I need to cut down to a couple of different parts for the sides and back and whatnot. But I think we'll do that after lunch. Right now we're good to go. Hey guys, still Monday the 26th of August 2019. Covered before earlier. I've got the Chickshaw wood curing up here after being treated to waterproof it. Since I have some time to kill, I figured I might go ahead and just kind of step into the next project, which is going to be to get the aquaponic gardening kick-started. Way back when, I don't know, 6-9 months ago, I bought 8 of these IBC totes, 250 gallon or 1,000 liter totes. And basically, long story short, each one of these is going to have the top cut off, right across the top, and this becomes the fish tank. So this will become a 225 gallon fish tank for tilapia. And then this will support, each of these will support 3 75-gallon grow beds for growing vegetables and whatnot. But today's task, this is my first time doing this, so I'm going to take it nice and slow, but I basically have to take these top bars off, just unbolt them, turn upside down, take the plastic, the whole plastic cube out of the steel frame or the metal frame, cut the frame down, cut the top of the tank off, remove a couple parts down on the pallet down here that we don't need. Basically just get this thing ready to be a fish tank instead of a, I believe this was a what do you call it, a corn syrup. Because one of the things they tell you is to make sure that when you buy these IBC totes, intending them for aquaponics, that you don't get one that had some kind of caustic acid or some other, toxic material in it. All of these that I bought, they say it on here somewhere, Amber Sweet was the product name, but it was I forget where it said it, but it was a sweetener where I think they were making, I want to say they're making pickles, and apparently pickles have some kind of corn syrup or whatever in them. So anyway, I'm going to get this thing broken down, and I won't do any more videoing tonight, probably tomorrow as I start to really decompose this thing and break it down into its pieces. I'll do a little bit more videoing. Take care, bye-bye. Alrighty guys, here's what we got going on. I already did the first tilapia tank. I'm going to break this one down real quick, just kind of show you what some of the steps are. Basically there was those two straps across the top. Just take 4 bolts off, take the 1,000-liter plastic tank out of the frame. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, I'm going to cut right here on all these guys. Take this span right here, just cut this thing off real quick. Alright. Alright, next step, I'm going to use the angle grinder. I'm just going to take some edges off these guys that I just cut so that they're not so sharp. They cut me or my tilapias. Next step, we make sure our cords aren't all friggin' tangled. You can kind of see here I've already marked the line. Some folks cut them down a little bit lower, but I'm trying to keep as much water and fish as I can. The 225 gallon mark is here, so I'd like to be able to fill it to 225. Still have that much of a airspace on top so the fish can't jump out, and also I left a little bit of a curve on the top again to kind of keep the fish from jumping out. But now I use your trusty jigsaw. I had the same issue last one, and I figured out a way to beat it. There you go. Voila. We don't need no stinking top. Alright, I'm gonna call that a clean fish tank right there. Clean it damn enough. I think that anything that's off-white down there, I think it's on the bottom of the plastic. Inside the plastic looks really clean. And this one too, looking good, looking good, looking good. Pretty happy with it. This will surprise maybe nobody. I had one of these things tipped up, draining it, 90 degrees, and then I pushed it back over, and dipshit had gotten under it, so he got crushed under this thing when I dropped it, and he was limping around like he had a broken front leg for about 20 minutes. But it seems to have repaired itself. Deuce, you got a broken leg? You're such a dumbass, I swear to God. I shouldn't say it. I mean, I always, every time he does something like that, I'm like, it's just a matter of time before I run over his ass with a tractor. He's such a knucklehead. Just like, can't stay out of harm's way. Anyway, we love him. Until we squish him with a tractor, we just love him to death. That's all you can do.